Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Stasis, Bone Totem. So we've come out of the lab area where there was some horrible stuff going on, and we're in this area that we saw on the like the sort of recordings from that camera. There is something over here. We know there's like a weird dome type thing. So let's go and take a look at that. There's a sort of semi-human looking hand there. What does it say? The elevator cable runs up and through a smooth gap between the fingers, using the smooth stone texture as a makeshift pulley, giving the elevator the appearance of a small thurible dangled from the sculpture's hand. I've never come across the word thurible. The remains of the older bridge partially collapsed. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the control panel. Maybe we can raise this thing up.
Pod lift inaccessible. Docking procedure must be completed.
Think this pod will take me down to where you are, Charlie.
Oh, another lock.
Yeah. Have to get it off somehow.
And I do have the thermite still. Is that for this? No. We've got some... This is crane settings, I think. So like pink, yellow, red, purple, red, yellow, red, something pink. Okay, how can we get this lock off, do we think? This is empty. There might be another way to charge it, potentially, somewhere. I think he's got all the tools at the moment. Can the unconscious scrubber do it? I don't think Mac's got what he's going to need currently. Let's go back. There was a PDA here. Let's have a look at that now. Corbin, security, just Corbin. Goes by one name. I think he might be... He's an android here, yeah, look. Tobias Crumman model, Gen 2.0. Personal android to Dave Gallagher. Company synth liaison. Kane Lunar Link successful. Memory wipe complete. Ordered, received from... Is that supposed to be orders, maybe? Uplink closed. Okay, what have we got going on here? This is encrypted from Stevie G, who any football fans will know is Steven Gerrard, former Liverpool player, so I'm not sure how he's involved with this. Corbin, a new mission, my plastic friend. Keep an eye on Gallagher. Report back. System, internal diagnostic report. I've been paired with Dave Gallagher for his tenure on the Mule. He does not look upon artificial life kindly. Classic yellow leaf. The lab analysed the contents of Master Dave Gallagher's stomach and found high levels of the peptide SSMTP, a toxic found in the venom of a Scolopendra subspecies. I'm opening an investigation to determine where the toxin came from, and whether or not this was an attempt on Master Gallagher's life. I will not be alerting security personnel until they are ruled out as potential suspects. Traces of an arthropod exoskeleton were found in the meat grinder in Mess Hall 1. It belonged to the same species as the venom found in Master Gallagher's stomach. Chef Mason has been placed on leave from the Mule and dispatched to Deep Sea 15. All employees who had access to the kitchen are being questioned. Dr. Abdulaziz Al-Kabur, that's who we saw on the camera, was also spotted with Chef Mason around the time of the poisoning, but at this point there is no further evidence to suggest a collusion. To Stevie G. After noticing a considerable decline in my processing speeds, I ran diagnostics. I discovered large packs of encrypted files that were somehow hidden from my operating system. I don't know how my firewall was breached or what the files contain, but I'm confident they were uploaded by Master Gallagher. How should I proceed? I tried decrypting the files using every known exploit, but to no avail. If Master Gallagher is Yellowleaf, as you suspect, then Corporate is far more vulnerable than we imagined. He probably intends to use me to transport the files, since my clearance frees me from routine security scans. I will keep an eye on him. He could lead us to others. It's unlikely he's working alone. I'm experiencing a recurring image stutter that overrides my optical receptors, similar to what humans call a visual hallucination. It always ends with my hands around the throat of a man. He mumbles incoherently as he struggles for breath, and then he falls to the ground and goes silent. I'm aware that the termination is justified even before Lieutenant Stevie G tells me it is. I don't know if this is a malfunction caused by the file dumps, or a glimpse into my life before the last routine data wipe. Maybe it's both. To Baron. We've seen Baron mentioned. We haven't actually seen... We haven't seen his stuff, though, have we? I don't think. Master Baron, Madame Celaya has requested that I bypass your authority and discuss an urgent matter directly with the choker. The details are enclosed. Quarantine of the Lower Mule was characterized by rampant disorganization and impetuous rationale. Despite my invulnerability to infection, I have been locked inside the temple ruins by the Black Ops unit. Some others were also healthy men when the doors were sealed, but unlike me, they will not stay that way. I overheard Master James tell Master Frick that he got an illegal eidetic memory enhancement before joining the Mule team. If any Kane officers find these logs, investigate this data exploit vector. The Omega Lab is now a no-go area for human staff. Project Kitchen Knife is on the loose. It has already consumed the Brygo specimens and most of the remaining Omega research team and blister techs, so I am leaving it as a temporary obstacle for the temple infestation. So that's the thing that we've just got rid of. Project Kitchen Knife. To be safe, I recalled the pod to the Omega Lab. I am switching to hibernation mode to conserve what little energy I have. I will awaken periodically to check the situation. My synth skin is flexing uncontrollably. I need an oil bath and a defrag. Nothing to report. Nothing to report except some screams heard from below. Starvation and cannibalism are assumed. Diverting security access to the Omega Lab to preclude access to the Mule. Motion detected. Investigated. Nothing to report. My neutron power cell is nearly depleted. My gyro woke me up when it detected a position change. I'm being dragged into the well. Limbs locked up. System error. Okay, didn't end well for Corbin then. Okay, we currently can't do much, so I can remind myself what we've got going on in here. There's quite a lot going on at the moment with different codes required for things, so I just kind of want to just remind myself what I'm looking for. This one we've done. I don't really know what that was about. This is just research and images, isn't it? So that's fine.
That's probably the door to Omega Base. Gotta get it open somehow.
We've got to get through the sealed door. What's going on here again? I mean, it might become relevant. I'm not quite sure how. I think this is just a research terminal. Microscope. I don't have anything to look at under the microscope yet. There's nothing just going on at the moment, is there? Okay. That's outside. Can't remember what's going on up here. Oh, this is the bathroom, wasn't it? Okay, what's going on up here? Product storage, embalmed corpse. I think we've done everything we can with this thing, haven't we? There's this, but like... Oh, hang on a minute. This matches the one that the bear's trying to access. So I'll try and remember this pattern. But we've got, so the red one we know, then we've got 2 underneath it, 2 above it, 1 at the end, and then these kind of there. All right, try to remember. I'll try to remember this. Let's switch to Moses. Try and remember which terminal he's attempting to use that on. I think it was the one down here. Was it this one? Yes. Okay, so that one, no. That one, that one. Was it that? Was it that? I'm sure this is right. I'm not sure on these ones. Let's just jump to Mac again. Yeah, down, then 2 across, and then down. Okay. That's fine. There we go.
Alert. Atmosphere flush complete.
Atmosphere reduced administration losses.
Okay. Ah, I'll be able to go through there now. Right, let's see what we can do in here. Where are we? Intra-imager. Let's just start by taking a look at whatever this is. Oh. Okay, little family portrait. We've got burnt bodies. We've got a table, operating table. Okay, so this was a surgery. What have we got here? Could it be this one, this one, this one, this one? There we go. Ooh, magnetic device. I think we know where to use that. Possibly. It makes my fur stand up. Okay, he was looking for something magnetic to help open that door we had to open. Storage containers, canister, curtain. Privacy curtain. Okay, yeah, I don't think it leads anywhere. Canister. We've got burnt bodies here. Let's take a look. What's this? Melted rapid expanding foam canister. Okay. An empty breast pump. Okay. It has a really weird straw. I love Moses' descriptions of things. Okay, so some interesting stuff there. Let's have a little look at this PDA then. This one is for Salaya, Priestess 9. Or Priestess the 9th. We've heard her mentioned. Here we go again. After the initial shock, it's a wild ride of laughter, tears, and cravings. I'm a lousy parent. Why does Cain keep blessing me with children? To Liza Simpson. A thought occurred to me as the Cain Day celebrations came to a close. Patient 818386's fog of memories. So we think this one is the one who was sort of reduced to a brain and spinal cord by the sound of it. And I think he's the one we've been in communication with. His fog of memories is like an amniotic fluid. He will be reborn and transformed by new knowledge, not unlike our glorious Father Cain. Sorry, sip of water. As I pondered this, a minor quake shook the mule. No one was hurt. Could this mean that he is a crucial step towards the true ascension beyond the Nexus? I don't want to presume too much, but the area isn't prone to tectonic activity, and no one can explain what caused the quake. I had a jucca shake an hour ago, and now I'm literally crying from the pain. I never suffered from acid reflux before this pregnancy, and now I'm wondering what other surprises may be in store. Is this a gift? Then why does it feel like my body is rebelling? To the chokerboard. Exalted Father on high. I received some interesting information from one of the staff, Dr. Liza Simpson, who approached me to discuss 818386, afflicted with an unknown ailment. For brevity, I've included a report written up by Dr. Hairfest, who was brought in to study the patient. In summary, it posits that 818386 has somehow inherited the memories. Dr. Simpson claims to have confirmed these reports personally. If there is even a shred of truth in all this, developing the means to transpose memories would have tremendous implications for the Church. It could pave the path to extending the lives of our venerable members and representatives, and revolutionize how we teach and raise those within the Cain family. I recommend that this research be prioritized, but we will proceed as you deem fit. Today at lunch, Yvette asked me if I was planning a baby moon. I pretended to be above such indulgences, but I really would love some time away to get comfortable with the reality of this child. Prepared by Dr. Hairfest and Anne Clara Daniels. Closer inspection of the microbial infection growing in patient 818386's brain revealed a wedge-shaped object implanted between C1 and C2. The thing is crudely manufactured, but the initial infection has spread from its piercing tip. Did he get like shot in the head or something with something like like a harpoon or something that's given him the infection. I have liaised with Baron, and we are at loggerheads over how to proceed with this heretical matter. Our debates are made more challenging by my uncle's obvious glee at my condition. He always seems happier than I am about my fruitfulness, worthy of a priestess of Cain, and he uses praise to avoid responding to my arguments. What am I to him, really? What am I to Cain? Compounding my heterodox nightmare, the archaeology department reported that the cover stone that had been placed over the recovered human remains was carved at least 2,000 years before their death. The timeline of human achievement canonized by the Church does not permit for such an aberration. Were it not for the potential significance of PS-139, that's the microbial infection, isn't it? I would have shut down this entire operation a long time ago. Liza is now a participant in the dream along with 818386. She's been screaming for 7 days straight. I'm not sure if they are screams of ecstasy or pain, but I can't help envying the intensity of her experience. I can feel the iron hold of my incarcerator tighten as I struggle to free myself from its gestating grip. I wish to visit the Mother's Shrine on my next shore leave, but first I must repent from these thoughts. To Corbin, so that's the android. Corbin, I've received multiple reports of staff suffering from hallucinations similar to what we've observed in 818386. We're not prepared for an outbreak. I recommend that high security containment and quarantine procedures be enacted immediately, at least until we have a better understanding of the microbe. You're instructed to bypass Baron and have the team organised by Choker directly. Despite the quarantine, an aerosolized form of PS-139 has spread throughout the facility. Is this the work of Yellow Leaf? I've locked down this mule quadrant as best we can. Dr. Moon managed to get the air filtration working. Then she said her oculars were glitching and she needed a special tool from her office. I haven't seen her since. It's harder to imagine this as a divine gift when the corridors are filled with screams. I've started seeing things. Slivers of others' memories. Flashes of violence. I've seen what the infection is doing to some of my colleagues, and I dread succumbing to it. Security is attempting to control the situation, but failing. I alerted Corporate earlier today, and they assured me they'd send help. I can only pray to the Father and Mother that they get here soon. Cain be with us. By the Mother, the security teams are killing everyone. The order must have come from Baron. Damn you, Corbin. By the grace of Cain, I've managed to hide, but I hear gunshots echoing through the halls. Glory to the Mother who protected and guided us as we took to the stars. Reverence to the Mother, from whose womb His Holiness was reborn. Supplication to the Mother, whose flesh sustains us and keeps us pure of soul. Exhortation to the Newman, who will guide us to paradise. Newman. Right. Okay, so we've got some new stuff here. We should go and try it out. The magnet on the door. It might not be as simple as just using it. We might need to do something else. Ah, okay, that needs a connection of some kind, maybe? What have we got? This? 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 Okay, yeah, okay, so we need some kind of, I guess, an electrical connection to go from there to there. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Let's go back to Matt, because he might be able to break down some of this stuff we've just found. I'm thinking specifically these two things. What does he say about this? Potentially useful, but gotta lie, the stench of the burned plasteel is horrendous. I'm more afraid of carrying this in our inventory than the explosives. If this ruptures, it'll flash expand into a plump Thanksgiving turkey. It gives me one idea. Let's go to Charlie. So we're still here at the thing. Can we do anything now with the foam expander that we've got? Specifically, do we combine it with the thermite? No. Okay, so what does she say about these? We're lucky that the valve melted in a way to keep the contents inside. We'll need to find a way to replace the valve before we can use this. Okay. Oh. Ooh, that could be... They're saying that could be a lure. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So let's go back to Moses then. Because we are trying to get this this creature lured away from the vent so we can get through. Remind myself what's on this. Yeah, let's take all this stuff. Can I use this? Oh! I mean, the answer is yes. I don't have anything recorded on it yet. However, maybe... I mean, it was obvious. It was fairly obvious that's what it was needed for. Still not quite sure how all this stuff fits together, but let's try this. Alright, let's come out of this. Let's go back over to the vent. Can I sort of use stuff on that weird creature?
I do not like these sounds. They are wrong.
The cries. I remember them from my fugue. Somehow.
Now we have them.
I don't want them.
Alright, well, we've got a recording now. Why don't we go and use it in the microphone and see what that does. Oh.
It did not stay long.
Perhaps it needs more motivation.
Okay, so something about using it as a lure. I mean, yes. What's this thing? I don't know. Nothing useful. It smells like Mac's special white nose medicine. Oh, okay. So we definitely can't just stick any of this stuff in there. Okay, we're kind of at a point of just using stuff on other stuff now to try and figure it out. Trying to think through what Charlie can access at the moment. Because her stuff is so far between, I don't really want to just sort of keep racing her back and forth. What might we need to do? Fill it with something else? Let's go back to Max. He does have some lab stuff going on. Like he had sort of gene sequences and stuff, didn't he? I don't... Oh. Okay. Well, let's give that to Charlie then, because she did say something about combining a valve, didn't she? Hang on. So if we did that and that...
The valves melted off these canisters, but with the new one, the foam should release.
Can launch something. Just trying everything. Now we have to find something to foam up or launch vertically. Okay, well maybe this will make widen the gap that's in here. Oh, hello.
Oh, wow.
I felt that from in here. Are you okay? What did you do?
Yeah, I'm okay. I broke off the bow of the ship. It fell on top of that thing.
Inspired.
If it worked.
So where does this go now? Oh, back here. Okay, no, that's fine. I guess we go down again? Or maybe we can't do it from here. Okay, go back. Let's go back this way. Good, well I'm finally figured out what we do with that bow. I've still no idea what we do with the thermite. I'm assuming it's maybe the lock that Max encountered. But he didn't seem that inclined to use it, so maybe we need to... I don't know, combine it with something else. But anyway, we can go into a new location now.
It's... I killed it. It's dead.
You don't sound thrilled.
It was huge. It was... unique.
It was disgusting.
But it's still gone.
Warning. Energy reserves below 5%.
You will be too if you don't hurry.
Okay, well let's, what does it say about the thing now? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Airlock. So this is...
Electrical intensification detected.
Super.
Pods. Clutches of pods dot the cave entrance. The tip of their ovoid forms are glistening in the tunnel's fluorescent light. Ooh. Got a scratch rover over here.
Looking at a drone here. Twin prop.
Kitted for sample collection, looks like. Anything useful?
Let's check it out.
Something here.
Caution. Unfertilized scrubber eggs detected.
Huh.
Pretty grim. The electric swarm is probably waiting for a male to fertilize them. Okay. I think that's literally it. What do I... Can I combine these? No. Alright, that seems like it for that. Algae, mucus.
Oh my god.
Pretty. It's hazy on the camera. What is that?
Scrubbers. Like the one that melted the crane circuitry, remember?
And you said one by itself could fry your whole suit.
Yeah,
4% energy reserves remaining.
Are the scrubbers swarming?
Yeah, around the docking ring.
Then you have a problem. Those are females. They are swarming because they have no males to copulate with. Working scrubber broods are always kept female. They're easier to manage.
They don't look very easy to manage to me. I wouldn't last 2 seconds in there.
Is there a way around?
No. That path is the only one that leads to Alpha Base.
Alpha Base. Okay, well we can interact with it here. There's probably going to be a death scene.
You wouldn't make it 10 feet in that.
No. But I can see the docking ring for Alpha. If I can get there.
3% energy reserves remaining.
I mean, this is going to be a death scene, but I figure let's just get another death scene. We seem to be collecting them, so... Yikes. I was missing Death 5 and Death 2, but I figure this is probably going to be Death 8. I think I've missed a couple. Death 5! Okay, the only one I'm missing so far then is 2, so that's kind of cool. But let's see what we can do here. So I can maybe put the unconscious one in there? No. I could put the egg in there? No. Put the thermite in there? No. This? No. Charge that? No. Okay, so I can't currently do anything with these guys. So that's pretty much it for Charlie at the moment. Don't think I can combine any of this stuff, as we've seen. But okay, good. Well, we've made some progress. That's good. Let's go back to Moses. I wonder if the egg could be a lure. I wonder if it's a male. I wonder if these sort of two things are links to one another. No, I can't put that there. Let's go back to Mac. He might be able to do something with some of these items, I suppose. What do you say about that? Okay, we can come out here again. There was another place over here. I think it was just the security camera, but we'll check it out again. I think this has served its purpose. I could be wrong. Mobile Science Lab. No container found. So, like, okay, so this has literally served its purpose as well. I feel like the key to it all is going to be Moses catching that bug. Mind you, where was the where was that thing, that guy that was getting eaten? Was he down here? No. If we could find that again. I mean, it's possible I'd done everything I could there, but I thought it was still interactable with. I just can't remember where it was. I feel like it was in a previous area that I can't access now. Okay. I feel like we are still missing something, and I think the only place it could be is in here. Not necessarily this room, but in Moses's part, because there's quite a lot of moving parts here, whereas the others that's not so true for Mac and Charlie now. I think we've got everything in there. Let's go back to the beginning again. Okay, we've done quite a lot with this brain. Oh! But that does kind of remind me of something. And I'm not thrilled by it, but we're going to do this.
Children should not drink this.
No, they shouldn't.
I really wish I hadn't seen that.
Yikes. Okay, well I think we might have what we need to catch the creature now, is the good news. Let's pop back there. So let's use this. There we go.
An interesting stratagem, my friend.
That was the missing element. That's what we knew we had to do something like that. So let's go back to the security console now. So we know we can lure it by doing this. There it goes. It's in there, and the door shut automatically. Awesome. Okay. I don't know what we're going to do with that now, but we've caught it. It did feel like that was the one thing remaining that we really needed to do.
Got it. Moses got it. I trapped it. It is not scary now.
Well played, Moses.
I am a very smart bear now.
Aww. Interestingly though, I think we can't seem to do anything with it, so I guess we just leave it now. It does mean we can get through here.
You are in sample analysis.
Terminal, PDA, let's look at the terminal first. Okay, let's look at some images. It's like an octopus. Some sort of spider? Quite sure. It's like a flea. Some sort of squid or cuttlefish type thing, maybe? Not sure. Research. Gene stuff. I think a lot of these terminals are just kind of for flavour rather than solving puzzles, but some stuff that's circle and yellow might be worth remembering. G1. It's got a male-female thing. G1, okay. And that's nothing. Spam. Well, this is about yellow leaf, so I think it's marked as spam, but we've seen these guys mentioned. Dearest Peter Marshall, it's time to take action. Gather the necessary tools and materials for this procedure, including gloves, sterile gauze, skin glue, tweezers, a magnifier, and local anaesthetic to numb the area. Use your fingers to locate the small irregular bump at the bottom of the skull and clean the area with disinfectant solution. Make an incision at the base. Once the transcendence chip has been exposed, carefully grip it with the tweezers and gently pull it out. It is essential to be careful and avoid pulling too hard, as this could cause damage. After removing the interface, clean the area with sterile gauze and a disinfectant solution. Finally, apply skin glue to the site to protect it from infection. You can now think and act freely. Join us in the fight for purer humanity. Yellowleaf always, Yellowleaf forever. So there's some sort of brain chip that's indoctrinating people, probably to do with the cane thing. So that looks like a scrubber, doesn't it? Ooh, being dissected. And that's kind of its little electronic backpack thing, isn't it? Okay. We have a PDA over here. Is this going to be Peter Marshall? No, this is Dr. Hairfair, so the Chief Medical Officer. So we've seen this guy mentioned quite a lot in the other entries. It's an amazing moustache he's got. Okay, there aren't too many reports here. Patient 818386 has been in my care for 10 days. He exhibits the classic symptoms of a bacterial or viral infection. High fever, headache, sore throat, joint and muscle pain, weakness and abdominal pain. We have isolated him in an isobaric chamber and observed a strict protocol. Although his condition is not within my area of expertise, I have been asked to document his cognitive state. For better or worse, he does not seem fully aware of his physical condition. Dr. Atlas Moon, a veteran and student of the renowned Gerardus Malan, will perform genomic analysis of the microbe. To Saleya. Update on my previous report. The infection has progressed, and patient 818386 is now bleeding from every orifice. At the same time, he does not seem to be in any pain. He maintains his journal and converses with medical staff. Surprisingly, the language he speaks is Russian, which isn't listed in his professional profile. Perhaps it's childhood regression in response to the trauma of his condition. Remember, there were Russians down here before, and there's something about him kind of absorbing memories, isn't there? So that's interesting. 818386 keeps falling into a fugue state. His vocabulary now extends to what can only be described as Proto-Mayan. Unfortunately, our records only cover a few of the terms he's used, and he cannot recall anything he spoke about after regaining full consciousness. Apologies, had to sneeze. Right. To Atlas Moon. Dr. Moon, my report is attached for your perusal. The stasis pods of the 3 products I requested for study have just arrived. I'll begin my observations post-haste. I'm convinced that patient 818386's recollections are real, even if they are not his. The live PS139 isolated by Dr. Moon could have incredible medical applications. Following exposure, the 3 products, 2 children and 1 adult female, started falling into the same dreamlike states experienced by 818386. The children began speaking fluent Russian and recalled events from a life in Severomorsk, as though they'd witnessed them personally. Meanwhile, the adult female recounted an unspeakable sacrificial ceremony from what must be an exceedingly ancient culture. So this microbe's able to kind of communicate memories. We've got a habitat. Tendrils of greenery spill out from the contained habitat, like a procession of caterpillars. Alright, so look at the hatch. Okay. Right. Oh, this one. Sensing a pattern here. Oh, look. So we kind of want what looks like a scrubber. I guess that. They have quite a long tail. Maybe more like that. The legs. That's probably more like it. The body. We might have to go and look at the research again. I think, yeah, that's the kind of thing, isn't it? And their head looks like... I think kind of like that. Oh!
Specimen retrieved.
Good work, Mose. Good work.
Doesn't look like the same creature to me.
It isn't. Merely a proto-specimen. Basic genetic engineering will be required, I'm afraid.
We're trying to make a male. Is that what we're doing? Well, I'm done with this now, anyway. PDA I'm gonna have another look at the terminal, maybe. That was just the pictures and stuff, wasn't it? I think we might be done in here now. Terminal. I think Mose might be done for the time being. I can't imagine there's anything left to do with that brain. What does he say about this? Looks like someone got boogers on the plate. Alright, maybe Charlie can combine some of this stuff. She's got the rover, the swarm, but maybe some combination. Right equipment. Do have that microscope stuff. So let's teleport back over to Mac, and we'll have a look at this microscope thing that he found. All the way over here. So, what have we got? Ah! That works. Now what do we do?
As I said, basic genetic engineering.
This isn't exactly my wheelhouse, you know.
You are a smart Mac.
The smartest.
So, what? I need to combine these things somehow?
No. You need to remove the proper gene sequences from the proto-organism and implant them in the embryo version for gestation.
Like you said. Basic.
Okay, we can move this around. So we're going to need to go back to Moses, I think. We're going to need to remind ourselves what was on this terminal over here. This one. So it was in the research, wasn't it? Wasn't that one? So they've circled XS, XX, and C1. But the male-female one, G1, and it's all green. So put it all together, we've got XX, C1, G1. Let's see if that applies to anything Matt can see. So there's this all green one here, A3. There's another one up there. G1. Extract. There was XX, wasn't there, and C1. Oops. That's not how we go to Moses. Alright. Research. There was no XX, but it looks like sort of two short, fat orange ones and then a thinner orange one. But I'm going to need 3 sequences. So C1, G1, are the 1, 2, 3. So these are the 4 I need probably. So we're going to try to get the orange one and C1. Oh, it's probably that red one actually, isn't it? Well, I have to do this in one go. Alright, well this one was first in the sequence. It's U4. Then we need C1. And we need G1. I think we need this one too, G2. Should we try that? No, that wasn't it. Oh, it might have been... This one looks the same as well. So let's try that again. Hang on. I don't know if it has to be in a specific order. Let's try G1. C1. I think we want U3 as well. C1. I think we want to... I think it's these two next. I'll have to go back round. Oh, something's happened. Yeah, I think I took too many. How do I... I need to just come out and back in again. Okay, we'll try that again. So we want... might be A1. A1. G1. Oh, I can't remember the other one. There was C1, wasn't there? Ah! Back around. Alright, let's come out. Let's go back to the bear. I might have to make a note of these. Alright, so I think these are the basic shapes. But we know there's a C1. And there's this one that's like two chunkies and a thin. We've got a G1. So is this all the colours correct? So we've got... like, as well as those two, we've got a green, blue, thin green, and two thin greens, thin blue, two thin green, thin blue, thick blue. So I think it's these. Let's go back to Mac. Oops, went to Charlie. Back to Mac. Right, let's try again. So, well, we know we've got C1 and G1, so let's... well, mind you, green, blue, then thin green. So it is, pretty sure it's this one. Then we want two thin greens, a thin blue, and then a fat blue. So that's this one. Oops. Went past it. We also need C1, G1, and this one over here. I'm pretty sure that's it. Maybe the order's important. We'll take this. No, we got C1. There we go. Order was important.
Did I actually...
Successful genetic engineering. Congratulations.
Smartest Mac.
It looks tiny.
It is in its infancy. But it is in a maturation chamber. You simply need to wait for it to grow.
Not sure I like the sound of that.
I think that might be a good place to leave it for now. I'm not exactly clear on how we're going to deal with this. But maybe Charlie can combine it with something? I don't know. But anyway, we'll leave it there. So thanks very much for watching this episode of Stasis Bone Totem. I feel like we've made decent progress today. Still a lot of things I'm not quite sure how they fit in, like the thermite and this stuff. I mean, we know how, kind of how this is going to work. I don't know how we can speed up its growth, though. But yeah, so thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then if you could give the video a thumbs up, that'd be great, as would leaving me a comment. Let me know what you think about the game and this playthrough and everything else. I'm sure it's probably quite frustrating watching me figure out puzzles you've probably already worked out, but hopefully you're enjoying it anyway. And lastly, if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed to the channel, it'd be great if you could do so. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time for more Stasis Bone Totem. Bye for now.